Hello, welcome to Old Virginia Homes. Today we're going to be visiting one of the stops on the VA250 Passport. If you don't have yours yet, I will link the information on how you can get yours here. We're going to be visiting Thomas Jefferson's home, but it's not Monticello today, that beautiful mountaintop estate in Charlottesville. Definitely worth a visit. But while Jefferson was at Monticello, he was hounded by hangers-on. He was very popular, sort of a rock star, with the equivalent of paparazzi, just chasing him all the time, asking him questions. He needed a quiet place to escape his fans. The house we're going to visit today is Jefferson's personal retreat, the place where he came to indulge in the life of his mind and renew his personal creativity. This house is lovely but curiously designed by Jefferson himself. It is octagon-shaped. Very interesting. Join me as we visit Poplar Forest, an old Virginia home near Lynchburg. Let's go. Hidden behind a quiet, modern subdivision in Bedford County lies a surprising remnant of early America, an estate designed by Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States and principal author of the Declaration of Independence. But this place was conceived not for politics nor public life, but for peace and solitude, for restoration and regeneration. This was made to be Jefferson's private world, a retreat designed by a man searching for escape. Jefferson began building Poplar Forest in 1806 on land inherited from his wife. It was an ongoing project, not fully completed until 1826. He pushed the limits of design while planning this house, melding classical European ideals with his own revolutionary ideas about space and symmetry. The architecture was really rather radical in a landscape dotted with traditional colonial American design. This was an experimental villa, shaped by geometry and light. When Jefferson came here, he left behind the noise of Monticello, the demands of correspondence, and the pressures of a nation he helped build. As with many of these old Virginia homes, the story of Poplar Forest was built not only on Jefferson's imagination, but also by the hands of the enslaved craftsmen who turned Jefferson's inspiration into reality. It was their skill and labor that was uncredited for generations and is still continuing to be revealed. An enslaved African American community continued to live and labor on the plantation prior to emancipation. The centerpiece of the estate is the Palladian Villa. The exterior definitely looks Jeffersonian, greatly resembling the University of Virginia and Monticello. The 50-foot diameter octagon portion of the house was considered basically complete in 1812, but expansion began in 1814 with the addition of the service wing. Four chimneys serve 15 fireplaces on 2 different levels. Entering the house, you can see that this was Jefferson's laboratory of architecture, a place where he tested theories and refined designs. But important to mention before we explore the interior is the fire that ravaged the interior in 1845. The house was subsequently rebuilt within its walls. It remained a private residence until the 1980s, at which time it was purchased by the Corporation for Jefferson's Poplar Forest, which oversaw a meticulous restoration to Jefferson's original design. An extensive 33-year investigation and restoration of the main house and attached wing of workrooms began in 1989 with a professional staff consulting architects from Monticello and the University of Virginia, and an advisory panel of well-known architectural professionals. The restoration process has followed Jefferson's original construction sequence and has used Jefferson-era materials and tools for handcrafting the classical elements. A guest room and bedchamber remain unfinished for interpretive purposes. Both bedchambers in the home are divided by European-style bed alcoves, a design feature that Jefferson used in Paris. These can also be found in Monticello. The parlor opens onto the south portico, one of two symmetrical porticos on opposite sides of the house. The 4 triple sash windows and sash door allow for a sun-drenched room. In the parlor is an example of a polygraph machine, what we today refer to as the auto pen. Of course, today we think of polygraph as lie detection, but at the time of this invention by John Isaac Hawkins in 1803, it was a way to sign 2 documents at once. Jefferson owned several versions of this machine, considering it the finest invention of the present age. And now for the dining room, the centerpiece, the nucleus, the soul of Poplar Forest. This room's dimensions create a perfect 20-foot cube crowned with a 16-foot skylight. The dining room's entablature replicates an ancient frieze using the face of Apollo, the sun god, alternating with triglyphs, vertical bars, common in Doric friezes. But then Jefferson chose to break the rules of neoclassical architecture by adding ox skulls to his design. Following his own fancy, he wrote, "I can indulge in my own case, although in public work I feel bound to follow authority strictly." The 4 sets of glass doors surrounding the dining room are thought to be the first items made by a skilled joiner, the enslaved craftsman John Hemmings. Jefferson's 2 granddaughters, Ellen and Cornelia Randolph, often traveled to Poplar Forest with him. I imagine them spending many hours in this room, learning much from their grandfather. Jefferson wasn't a big fan of staircases. He thought they wasted space. However, he recognized the need for them. After all, people don't really want to have to go outside to go to the cellar. So he tucked 2 away, 1 on either side of the house. The raised basement, the lower level of the house, includes a wine cellar laid with local stone and completed in 1807. The central room in the basement mirrors the dining room above. It is surrounded by 4 elongated octagons, which are used as interpretive areas, where guests can learn more about Poplar Forest's history. The kitchen is located in what Jefferson referred to as the wing of offices at Poplar Forest. During Jefferson's time, the kitchen was run by Hannah, who was a literate enslaved cook. The kitchen at Poplar Forest is smaller than the one at Monticello. However, just as Jefferson did at Monticello, Here, he also incorporated French cooking innovations. The kitchen includes a multi-grate stew stove, a set kettle, a domed oven, and other specialized equipment for Hannah to use, offering Jefferson and his guests a sophisticated dining experience. Visitors to Poplar Forest will see an ongoing field laboratory that continues to uncover tangible evidence of its past. The people, structures, implements, and activities of this place. Thank you for visiting Poplar Forest with me, and I encourage you to visit this old Virginia home in person.